Yo, what's up? It's KD back again. First off, subscribe to my YouTube page. We got new content coming every week. But this time I just wanted to come and answer some questions. I hear you guys got questions for me and just wanted to show some love before the season starts. And also show you. It's a cool deal we got right here. Fast Company did an article on your boy and Rich Kleiman here. You probably can't see it, it's okay. But make sure you check this out, coming out soon. And yeah, this is big for us. So wanted to show you guys that and answer some questions, man. So, ready?
Let's do it, man. First question. Success on the court is easy to spot. Last summer you won a championship. How do you define success off the court for yourself?
Who's that from?
These questions are from fans of and readers of Fast Company.
All right. Success off the court, I determine that by just having a great team. We have such a good team, my company, our company, great group of people that, even when I'm playing ball, they're making sure they're having stuff moving for me off the court as well. I think that's a huge part of being successful and just being curious. That's the thing that I was taught as a kid, is to always be curious about things you're interested in, ask questions, and those questions just turn into, opportunities. And, we just try to take it from there and keep growing it.
So, in line with that, what do you want your legacy to be off the court when you hang it up, both as a businessman and as a basketball player?
Well, my legacy, I wanted to lie, in my family, my kids. If I have kids coming down the line, and will come in the future. I want to just be known as first off, as a basketball player, somebody that gave it his all and left everything out on the court. But as a businessman, I just want to continue to impact people, inspire people to do great things, and just want to show people and tell people my story, where I come from, and how a small dream turned to something huge. And so that's the goal every single day, is always inspire, always impact lives.
So who are some of the more important people out in Silicon Valley and in business in general that have kind of put their arm around you and showed you the way and kind of taught you how to be a better businessman?
Ben Harrowitz is someone that I look up to, somebody that I got a chance to be around throughout this last year, being my first year in the Bay. Ron Conway, I think those two guys have mentored us and helped us out while when we first got here, and as far as letting us know what goes on in this world, how different it is, and how important relationships are. And I think that's something we got a leg up on. It was to our advantage that we was able to meet those guys early on. And for me, just being a straight basketball player first and not really thinking about business, coming out here and meeting those guys really opened my brain to something new and different. And I'm learning a lot about technology, about just this world in general, and how we can affect it.
What's one trait, if you had to choose, that you look for in an executive pitching their company?
Paranoia is probably the thing that I look for the most. And as a basketball player, I'm always nervous. Seeing a guy come up and seeing how hard he works, and I don't want a guy to outwork me. I don't want a guy to be better than me. So I'm always looking at who's coming behind me, who's paved the way for me, and how I could be better. So I'm always constantly in my own head about how can I be the best player I can be and be better than someone else. So I feel as though, CEO has that quality. I could tell that he really puts the time in and enjoy what he does, because, I feel like I'm the same way. So I've seen that in so many different, incredible people here in the Silicon Valley that just feels like they're just nervous and paranoid and anxious, and all of those, just being nervous is one of those things. Just always, having an opportunity to do something, but having the resources to do something, but also knowing that I might have to look at this person behind me coming up it might take my throne. So I don't know, it's a game that we play as far as being the best, and we try to conquer that journey along the way.
I think it's obvious that there's pressure playing basketball and being in the position you're in, and I think you've spoke eloquently about how you block out the pressure as a businessman. Is there pressure, and if there is, how do you block that noise out and stay focused?
I mean, there's pressure when you're taking risks, especially when you're dealing with your own money or you're dealing with your livelihood. And I feel as though you won't ever test how good you are unless you push the boundaries a bit and risk something. And I think that's just important. I may not know everything about the business life or how this stuff works, but I'm learning every day, and I'm taking risks, and I'm betting on myself. So I only can learn from here.
So you want to answer some fan questions now?
Yeah. I heard you guys got a lot of fan questions. I just definitely want to answer you guys and kind of kick off the season with that. So.
All right. Well, my main man, Rewind That Gaming, wants to know, what was the hardest thing you went through in your rookie season in Seattle?
The hardest thing for me was I'm coming from Texas, and where I was, the game was a little easy for me. I felt like I was just better than everybody, and I felt like I was more talented, and I cared about the game more than my peers. And when I got to the league, it just felt like it was a bunch of players like me, and then when you put that on top of experience, you realize that you don't know as much as you thought you did. And it was a rude awakening for me, but it took some time for me to really get it. And I wouldn't say until later on in that season I really started to figure out what basketball is all about at the professional level. And it took a lot of struggle for me to get there. So that's just the name of the game when you move up each level.
Johnson Dobbs with an interesting question. Outside of basketball, what was a life-changing thing that happened to you before you became famous?
Outside of basketball, a life-changing thing?
Man. I mean, everything was centered around basketball. I didn't really live the other part of my life until maybe I turned 25, to be honest. Like, the social part was never really existing for me, so it was just always basketball. So I really never let anything mentally or just like get in front of my focus of wanting to play the game. So I kind of brushed everything off. My family kind of shielded me away from that type of stuff, and it was good for me at that time.
Kilimanjaro TV. Another good question. Want to know how you get prepared for a long season, how you get prepared this year especially for a special ring night, and what did you do differently this summer than you may have done in the past?
How do I get prepared for a season? I just make sure my shot feels good, make sure my body is right, I can be able to make the moves that I always made, and just making sure my handle is tight. If I got those three things in order, I feel like I could build around those. And so if I come into camp with those three things good, in a good place, then I should be all right. Ring night, I'm excited about that. Obviously, my first one, and you see every year, teams getting their rings, and to be a part of that ceremony is going to be crazy, especially in front of our home fans. And just the last time we really played at a high level on that court was Game 5 of the finals. So to come back and be presented with our rings and the banner is going to be amazing. So looking forward to that, but also just looking forward to starting the season, man. My 11th year. Time has flown by, but I just can't wait to compete, go out there and have some fun.
Chance Artwork. Who do you see as the biggest competition next year as a team?
That's a good question. So many teams have reloaded and got better this year. I really think Houston's going to be a good team. OKC is going to be a good team. Minnesota, we played them twice. They're going to be tough. I think all these teams right now is just, continuity is a huge part of the game and just being familiar. So it's going to take them a couple of weeks for them to really be comfortable with each other. And I think once the middle of the season roll around, you're going to see all of these teams at full force, and it's going to be great. It's going to be great for the game of basketball, man. So up and down the line, I'm only saying West Coast teams because we play them, we see them more, and their wins and losses probably count towards what we do as well. So, but East Coast teams, you got Boston, you got Miami is going to be playing well, Cleveland obviously. So many great teams, man. It's a great time to be a basketball fan. It's a great time to be an NBA player.
Ryan D. Who are your favorite players in the NBA to watch?
Greek Freak, probably the number one guy I'd like to watch. That's the clue. I mean, Steph Curry, obviously the most fun player to play the game, but he's on my team. I get to see him every day. But Greek Freak is probably number one. I really, really, really enjoy watching C.J. McCollum play. He's different. His skill level is next level. Anthony Davis. I like long, athletic guys. I mean, that's just who I am. But Greek Freak, I think, is a force, and he's nothing. I've never seen anything like him. And his ceiling is probably he could end up being the best player ever play if he really wanted to. So that's pretty scary to think about. But he's by far my favorite player to watch.
All right, Chris Wang.
Hey, Chris.
Chris Wang. What is your go-to pregame meal?
Go-to pregame meal is sea bass and rice. Simple.
DMV Courtney. This makes sense to lead in right after this last question. What's the best thing you know how to cook, excluding grilled cheese and ramen noodles?
Damn. Courtney?
DMV Courtney.
DMV Courtney put me on the spot. I can't really cook anything. So, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not really good at that.
All right. Let's look through some more of these here. Fernando Martinez. Are you planning on doing some NBA 2K My GM videos on YouTube?
I think I want to. I don't know, man. I don't like a lot of people in my business when I'm making my GM moves. So, I don't know. It might just be me and Bryce doing it for the next couple months. But I might let somebody in there to watch. But who knows? We might do it.
I like this basketball question from Kumbert Jolie. I have a serious issue sometimes on the court when I play. When I miss my first shot or drive to the court, I get really demotivated and I lose my confidence. It happens every time. I don't play as good and how do I fix it? What's your mindset when you start off a game and you're not playing your best?
Well, you got to know what you're playing for. If you're playing to impress people, then 9 times out of 10, you're always going to be disappointed when you miss a shot or you make a mistake because you don't want to feel embarrassed. But if you know while you're out there, if you know that you want to just get better and you want to actually master the game, mistakes are, you're going to be excited about mistakes. So, get excited about messing up because you know that you can learn from those mistakes quicker. So it's just all about being confident in yourself and knowing that it's going to take some time for you to get to where you want to get to, but enjoy the process, as everybody says nowadays.
Dominic P. with a controversial question. Who wins in a three-point shootout, you or JaVale McGee?
Ooh. I mean, that's a shitty question. Bad question.
JaVale McGee.
McGee can't beat me in a three-point shootout.
All right,
Are you
a
serious?
few more quick ones. Do you like Dame Lillard's new album?
I love Dame Lillard's new album. I listened to it for the first time yesterday, and he just spitting some stuff that I would love to say. And to the media, to just fans in general, just people who don't understand. He's giving you a perspective. You know what I'm saying? That's what music and creativity is all about. So I applaud Dave. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely going to give other guys in the league confidence to be more creative, whether it's rapping, producing content, paint, anything. Just giving athletes a lane to be creative is special, and I applaud him for that. So he got some joints on there. He got a joint with 2 Chainz I really like. His last song in the album, I want to say Wonderland maybe. It was dope. Production was dope. Bars was dope. So yeah, man, I really like Dame. He's giving you a perspective on what we feel, how we think as athletes, and you should take it in and listen to it. It's dope.
Go Yusef, 43. Favorite albums of all time, not including Dame Lillard's.
That's an impossible question, but albums that were huge in my life that I can remember. College Dropout was a huge time in my life. I can remember that like it was yesterday. Miseducation and Lauryn Hill was a huge part of my life. That's probably the only album my mom allowed me to listen to as a kid. Hot Boys is the Hot Boys album. No, I want to say The Block Is Hot was the first rap album I ever bought with my own money. I remember where I bought it at. It was right next to a Shoppers Food Warehouse, and there was a CD shop right next door to that in the cut. I I can remember like it was yesterday. My mom gave me allowance, which was really her money, but it was mine, and I paid for it. My only thing I paid for was a Lil Wang CD, big part. Travis Scott's first album was huge too, as well, for my life, I guess. But yeah, that's all the albums that probably kind of meant a lot to me personally.
Brandon Cotter, what do you miss most about Austin, Texas, and what was your favorite barbecue place when you lived there?
My favorite barbecue place was Ironworks Barbecue. I forget the street that was on, but I used to go there every day. I miss Austin because, I met so many great people there, so many great memories I had there in Austin, and just the city. When I got there, it was still a huge city, but it was still a, really happening city. But now it's just taking off. It's going to another level, and it's amazing to see the growth. So every chance I get to go back, I I either have a great time or I meet somebody I've seen somebody I haven't seen in 10 years. So it's great every time I get a chance to go back.
All right, 2 more questions. Akbar Kader. Hey, Kevin Durant, I don't know if you remember me, but we met prior to Game 2 of the 2016 Western Conference Finals in San Francisco. I was the guy working alongside Craig Sager. It was a memory I won't ever forget. Thank you for being so kind. I know he cared so much about you. What's one memory of Craig that you won't forget? I feel like he's one of the members of the media that you had a great mutual understanding with always.
Yeah, Craig understood athletes. He understood basketball players. He didn't judge. When guys made a mistake, he didn't hold it against them. And we all respected him just for the type of man he was. And then the work he did was phenomenal. Just his coverage of the game, just his insight and his knowledge of basketball. Something that we all could respect. And one moment that stood out to me about Craig is I came home from practice one day and it was a Christmas card on my table. And I'm like, nobody ever sends me Christmas cards. And I opened it up, it was Craig and his family, and he just wrote a nice note for me and my family. And it was like, man, he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to go out his way to do that. And to show that he loves the people he's working with every single day. That showed me a lot about just the character he has, just the man that he has. So he definitely made me better by just being around him. And we all miss him. We all love him. And his name is going to stay alive forever.
Bill 456, can you average double-digit rebounds?
Ooh, that's a good goal to have right there. We'll see. I'm definitely going to try.
Last question. Daydreamer wants to know what you did for your birthday this year.
My birthday was really simple. That was the first time that I had a game the next day. So we went out to eat. Me and the whole crew, was probably 10 of us, 11 of us, my closest friends and family, and just enjoyed ourselves. Had a nice 1988 bottle of wine in honor of my birth year, and we had a great night, man. Simple. We enjoyed ourselves.
Rumors have it there will be a new show debuted on the YouTube channel, Parking Lot Chronicles with JaVale McGee. Yeah. Is it a must-watch?
That is a must-watch. JaVale, his first guest is Nick Young. Huh?
And you.
And me? Oh, I did not know that until just now.
Yeah.
Wow, so that show is gonna be off the charts. So Nick Young, myself, JaVale McGee tomorrow. It's the first time we're gonna shoot this show. Hopefully you guys like it. It'll be more and more content coming to the page like that, and this Q&As, and then you'll see JaVale, Nick, and you never know what you'll see next. So make sure you subscribe. Thanks a lot for all the support. Thanks a lot for all the love. Be on the lookout for the JaVale McGee Show.